On today's show, Minnesotans head to the high country of Colorado to hang out with one of America's most popular big game animals, the elk. Come along if you can stay on a mule. Later, another adventure in the shadow of the Fauché Tower in downtown Minneapolis in search of the Muskies of Lake Harriet. And our Minnesota Bound Classic this week remembers the boys on Maine. The boys are 3 Minnesota pheasant hunters who are at home in South Dakota when ringnecks are in the air. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's Select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. You know, if you watch this very long, you know I like to talk to the animals. I like to call wild turkeys, for example. But you may not know you can also call to elk, wild elk, cows and bulls. So one day last fall I went into the mountains of Colorado and did some elk talk.
This is a Rocky Mountain high. John Denver sang of it. Elk hunters seek it.
There's a bull right below us.
To sit atop the world.
Right down here, right there.
It's here, high in the Rockies, where you come to hunt one of America's greatest big game animals. Cree Indians called them wapiti, meaning white rump. European settlers called them elk, an old European name for moose. Historically, wapiti roamed a large chunk of North America, including the flatlands of Minnesota. Today, elk thrive in America's mountainous west, where the air is pure, but also very thin. Atop Little Buck Mountain, the plan was to sit, wait, and glass for elk moving up our way to bed down for the day in high country. To entice any bull elk nearby, our guide Eric Dodds imitated the squeal of a lonely cow elk.
The calling this time of year is pretty much come say hi and come meet me, pretty much.
While we waited atop Little Buck for an elk to say hi, 2 other, much younger Minnesota hunters were experiencing their own Rocky Mountain high.
It's really hilly, bunch of mountains with snow on them, and then compared to Minnesota, it's just mostly flat.
Our parents never had the opportunity to do this as 14-year-olds, but now it's just kind of awesome. It's great.
Corey and Carter Breitenfeld from northwestern Minnesota are already lucky young hunters. Their hunt was donated by Dick Dodds, who runs Elk Hunt Outfitters in Craig, Colorado. Camp manager Tony Borer explains.
10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, he decided that we need to give back to the kids and get this next generation hunting. And so we usually on average do about 15 youth hunts for, all free of charge that we give away a year. I don't think too many other outfitters do that. Obviously it does cost money, but to get this next generation off of the video games and TV and out into the woods and enjoy what we enjoy, that's what you got to do, is just give a little bit back.
Dick Dodds grew up in Minnesota, migrated west to pursue his hunting dreams near Craig, Colorado. His outfitter business was started in a small way, with crude accommodations no longer being used. Today, his Elkhorn operation features a cozy lodge, great food, with walls full of hunting memories.
When you come elk hunting here in northwest Colorado, here at Elkhorn, we're known for being the elk hunting capital of the world. We have lots of elk.
Lots of elk? But will the first-time hunters from Minnesota find them? Then, quicker than you can say, "There's an elk," they appear.
We were riding up this morning and saw a bull and a couple cows. And they worked their way down. Well, the bull did. He came down pretty fast.
And then it was over.
Good job, Carter.
Awesome. I'm definitely, when I get older, I'm coming out again.
Yeah.
It's another Rocky Mountain high, contagious at any age. Coming up, we'll return to Little Buck Mountain imitating the squeal of a cow elk. Is anybody listening?
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC Dealers, Connecticut, and by Starkey Hearing Technologies.
Time now to resume our elk hunting adventure into the high ground around Craig, Colorado.
In Colorado's high country and sagebrush flats, deer and other wildlife easily outnumber the land's human residents. Meanwhile, back atop Little Buck Mountain, three of us, hunting partner Bruce Beam, guide Eric Dodds, and I, hunkered amid the rocky peaks glassing below for a bull elk.
There's a bunch of elk right there.
Elk parades like this typically start shortly after sunup. And so did our ride to reach the top of Little Buck. Under morning moonlight, we readied our mountain transportation, horses and mules.
What's the plan, Eric?
Oh, we're gonna ride up the trail there,
Over here?
right next to the mountainside,
Yeah.
and then go to the top and glass this. See if we can see an elk this morning.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
On this morning, Betty and I are teammates.
All right, huh? Do I look like Roy Rogers or?
Probably not, but Betty didn't seem to mind. Onward and upward she went. Betty has climbed Little Buck many times before. An hour later, we parked our rides and climbed to the peak of Little Buck. Eric began talking like a cow elk. And somebody came looking for Mommy. Deciding we weren't four-legged relatives, the elk calf disappeared, while down below, more elk wandered by.
Here they come now. There's a bunch of elk right there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Then, appearing like magic from the left,
There's a bull right below us. Right down here, right there. There's another one. Just coming through right over there. He's coming right through there.
Yeah, he's coming right out of the aspens there. Take him.
And just like that,
Pressure.
my hunt was over too.
That's, 3 hours of patience by 30 seconds of, Hey. He folded up right here, buddy. Well, he smells like elk. And he looks like an elk. He's a nice bull. He's a dandy.
Indeed. Dandy 2, another bull, is left for seed. That, too, is a dandy Rocky Mountain High. Coming up, Laura Shera goes in pursuit of a giant fish swimming, guess where? Almost downtown Minneapolis.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
Welcome back. You know, if you like to fish, you tend to think that all of the big fish swim in northern Minnesota or western Minnesota or southern Minnesota, and there just couldn't be any big fish swimming downtown Twin Cities. Well, you might be in for a surprise.
City folks love their city lakes. A place to run, walk the dog, and see a little nature. However, at Lake Harriet in Minneapolis, Minnesota, most city folk don't have a clue about the giant fish that lurk here.
So what are we serving for breakfast this morning to the Muskies?
14-inch white suckers.
Yes, muskies, the most prized game fish in fresh water, right here in the city of lakes.
With live bait, you just want to make sure that you don't leave the muskie take the bait too long. It's really important, catch and release. You can go to any lake, anywhere, Lake Minnetonka, you could go to Mille Lacs, but this spot has deep water, hard bottom, and really established weed lines with some boulders out front here. A lot of times right before the bite, you'll see a big group of bubbles come up. And that's the muskie chasing the bait around the bottom, poking, trying to get it. And usually like 30 seconds after that, game on.
Game on?
Yeah.
Yikes, bubbles. It felt like I was waiting for Jaws. And well, waiting? That's the key word when it comes to muskie fishing.
We know there's muskies down there. We're just trying to entice them with some nice 12 to 14-inch suckers on there's a bite. We got one.
Are you serious?
Yep. Okay. So you're gonna take this. And what you're gonna do?
He's giving it to me?
You want to set this hook
There's
so
the bubbles.
hard.
Okay. Oh, I feel it now.
Now hit him.
Oh my gosh, it's heavy.
Yep. Keep your tip back. No, we missed him.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Nobody said city muskies were easier to catch than country muskies.
I get so charged up, I'm like shaking. I'm ready to go.
Chris and his fishing buddy Manny are muskie regulars around the city lakes.
We got a runner. I got all shaky like I do.
Chris and I got a saying that you're not going to catch a muskie on the couch.
I think I crossed everyone, right? The old Tolliver, sorry I'm in your spot cast.
Yeah.
When there's a lot of people on the dock, they get this clap going. It seems to make the fish bite.
And then
Get it really tight and wham. Okay, yep, you got it.
Real. I don't know.
Oh, she had it.
Are you serious? I said it as hard as I could.
You had it. It got off.
Not another one. Are you serious?
Oh.
oh, bummer. Well, that was strike 2. Do muskies give you 3 strikes? Time would tell.
All right. Well, Manny, when's the next bite, Manny?
And then strike 3.
This fish is running so far now. I'm just gonna hand it over. You're gonna jack it and start reeling, keep your pull straight up. Just keep as much line as you can on it.
Is the pole ready?
Go ahead. Walk back. Walk back. Wheel. Yep, nice. Yep, keep your tip up. Keep your tip up.
It's hard.
Yep. Look at where it is.
Holy bananas.
A nice fish, too.
Hi, America. Yes, I caught this lunker swimming downtown in the city of lakes. Don't believe it? Well, believe it.
Thank you very much, Musky girl. Go, Musky.
You're ready. There's a rooster right there.
This week, our Minnesota Bound Classic remembers the boys on Maine in a small town of South Dakota when it's pheasant hunting time. That's next.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Jesse Treble Foundation Systems and Safe Basements Waterproofing, Radco Truck Accessories, and by Seven Clans Casino.
Time now for our Minnesota Bound Classic, and this one goes way back to the heydays of pheasant hunting in southern South Dakota, where we found three Minnesotans who, well, let's just say we call them the boys on Main Street.
Once upon a time in the small country town of Parkston, South Dakota, there was a house on Main Street that nobody wanted. Then one day, three pheasant hunters from Minnesota wandered into town to meet an old friend.
Patty comes along and she says, well, I think you can get a house for three. Three? 30,000? No, I don't think so. She said, no, 3,000. I said, what?
You get the three-story house with 4 bedrooms, wooden floors, cut glass windows, full kitchen.
I thought we were absolutely crazy. Because why would we need a house when we can stay in the motel up the street for $20 a night?
Well, Patty comes whipping in the door, big smile on her face. You got it? Oh, we were the only bidders.
So begins a story about the boys on Main Street, Skip Hall, Butch Hawkins, Jerry Brower. It's a story about big city boys living with small town folks. All because of South Dakota's famous game bird, which binds them all together. Their days are spent rousting ringnecks.
Hen!
And it's a passion they share with their dogs.
Come on, Trigger. Come on, bud. You're ready.
There's a rooster right there.
That away!
Nice shot, Ron.
Get the bird. Boy, it didn't take him long to get the bird. Holy buckets. Good retrieve there.
Come on. I've been coming out since I was 7 years old. Shot my first pheasant at 8 with a 410 double barrel like so many.
Get the bird. South Dakota, well, 47 years ago when I was 12. I think I missed 1 year and I missed 2 openings. One I had pneumonia, and the other one my daughter was born.
Well, it's the guys. It's the guys, and it's the hunting is fun, and but everybody's got dogs, and as you know with your dogs, that's the fun part about it.
But there's another side to living in Parkston.
You gotta have it. Once you know everybody in town, it's just like putting on an old glove.
How's it going? See you.
You realize that this is middle America. I mean, these are nice people, and they're kind, they're genuine. There's no pretension at all out here, and that's what's fun.
So that's the way it is for 8 long weekends every autumn. Minnesota boys on Main Street in a South Dakota town.
No rules, no. Just have fun.
In Parkston, population 3 more.
The boys on Main. Well, now the pheasants aren't quite what they used to be in that area, and the town has changed a little bit as well. But it's still something to remember what you'll do for a ringneck pheasant. That about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Scherer, and of course, always the star of the show here is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.